Hi, this is a mini tutorial on sublimating. A few things you need when sublimating. You need three things. You need a sublimation printer with ink, a heat press, and your material. Today I'll be using mugs. So when you are choosing a printer, you have to make sure it has sublimation ink. I know you can turn a regular printer into a sublimation printer. You have to purchase the sublimation ink. You can do that in Amazon, but just make sure do your research and get the right ink for your right printer. FYI, once you turn your regular printer into a sublimation printer, you can't use it like a regular printer anymore. It's just going to be your sublimation printer. I have the Sawgrass 400. It cost me around, I think, $6.50. But as it turns out, the printer itself wasn't as expensive as I thought, because when I ran out of ink and I had to buy it, I realized that the ink itself is a little over $350. But it's worth it. The ink itself lasted over a year, and I did a ton of product, and it was worth the money. Now for the heat press, I bought mine at Amazon. It has attachments. It has a mug attachment and a few other ones, but the one I really use is just the regular heat press and the mug. You just disconnect it from the back and plug it in. Now for mugs, what the temperature I use. We're moving out, so it's a mess, but I don't know what that is. Water damage? Anyway, for the mugs, I have it at a temperature of 386 for 180 seconds. The funny thing about that is when I first started, I actually had it a way higher temperature. I had it at 400 degrees, but around the same time, and it worked fine. The images would come out good, crisp, but after a while, I've noticed that the images were burning. The blacks were turning brown, and I didn't know what was wrong. But after testing it and realized that the image was burning, I had to lower the temperature and play around with the time. So turns out my heat press was getting hotter than it was before. So if you have problems like that, don't be scared to change the temperature and experiment and see what works best, because it's pretty much trial and error to figure out how to do a product. Now for the mugs, I purchased my mugs at Supply Coastal Business, I think, and I get a set of 35 white mugs for about $1.69 or so. I think that's the best price I've gotten. They also have them on Amazon. I have purchased them there also. When purchasing a mug, make sure that it's for sublimation. And the reason is it has a polyester coat. You need that polyester coat to sublimate images. When you put the sublimation paper on there and you put it on the heat press, a chemical reaction happens and it adheres. So if you just use a regular mug, that reaction is not going to happen and it's not going to adhere. I know you could purchase regular mugs, but you have to do the coat by yourself. You would have to buy this liquid. They do sell. You have to do research. You have to wear goggles and masks. That's why it turned me off, because I have kids around the house. I can't have those smells around. So the most convenient thing for me was to buy the mugs already with the coat. I did purchase, though, I don't remember what company, but a spray. And the spray, I use it when I'm using white shirts that are 50% cotton and 50% polyester. I spray it on there and use it the next day when it's dry, and the images come a little brighter because the less polyester it has, the less bright it will come. It might work in your favor if you want an image to look more vintage and old, rustic, or what have you, because like I said, less polyester, the images won't come out as bright. But that spray worked, just a little bit. It didn't make it, it made a tad difference that I'm like, okay, I mean, I could see the difference, and it worked out. What else? Oh yeah, so when sublimating, feel free to try different things. It's always fun. I'm not scared to try things. I always go to stores and look at labels. If it has polyester, I'll come home and try to sublimate it. I've had wins and I have fails. I remember I bought this cloth for cooking at 99, and it was 100% polyester, but it was a furry material. It was like a fuzz. It had a fuzz. And when I sublimated, it just didn't adhere properly. It burnt. But that's okay. That's the fun part. I've also done socks that aren't specifically made for sublimating, but they worked. They were 98% polyester, and I was able to sublimate the whole sock. I've had sock fails too, where the sock didn't work because of the elastic they used and melted. So it was more of a trial and error, and the brand I liked, I kept using. I found it at a local dollar store, dollar and up store. But they do have socks made for sublimating already, and that you won't fail. You'll guarantee that it's gonna work. These I bought at Amazon, and I haven't used them yet, but I'm excited to use them, and they're made for sublimation. Note, if you're buying items that are made for sublimation, the price usually goes up. So know that. I've done shirts that are polyester. I've done ribbon. I've done dresses. Anything I see that has polyester, I'm not afraid to try. And I think it's the fun part. Just trying different things and see what works. And once see what customers like, and you experiment. And let me show you my mugs. This is one of my mugs. So the paper I use when sublimating is also from Postal Business. It measures 3.5 by 9.125. And it's convenient. All you have to do is wrap it around, and that's it. You put tape around there and here, and you're ready to go. Put it in your heat press. Remember that when you're heat pressing, this is going to stay white. And when you use this paper specifically, the top and bottom will stay white, which I don't mind. I have done ones that are completely sublimated from top and bottom. For that, I just use regular paper, like this one, a sub that's either 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14. I put 2 images on there, and it works. The only difference is I have to cut it myself. No big deal. But if you don't mind the white on there, for example, like this one has white here and here, I still like it, you know? So don't be scared to try different things. So I'm talk about something else. It's always handy to write down what works for you, because if you're anything like me, you're gonna forget. So I always write the product and how long I left it for and how big an image should be for your item. I do different things. I've done mugs, water bottles, compact mirrors, and they all have a different temperature. They all have a different size I should make it. Sometimes I forget, so this is convenient. It's a little beat up, but it works. So that's handy. Ooh, as far as heat press goes, you do need a temperature to transfer the image. I know you can use an oven, but you can use an oven when working with mugs, but you need like a silicone cover. I've seen them on Coastal Business, and I think I've seen them on Amazon. So that's an option that you have if you don't want to invest in the heat press right away. You can do that. I think that's pretty much it. It's just have fun with your sublimation machine and try a bunch of items and have fun. I think that's the most important thing. What I love the most about sublimating is be able to see your own image on your own items and having customers buying it. It's just nice. This is one of our characters. So comment below if you have any questions, if you want me to talk about other stuff, and